to Gimme 5 Author and Book Review. I'm Elizabeth O'Carroll, the author of Paysung's Peculiar Life, and with my co-author and BFF, Missy Richardson, Milo's Ocean Adventures. I am so excited tonight because I am interviewing Elsa Bridges, and she is the author of the Magic book series. She's primarily elementary, middle school, but I'm telling you what, adults like me love to read this series. Hey, Elsa, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm very good, thank you.
So where in the world are you, Elsa?
I'm in the UK and it's actually sunny today, which is which is quite good for us.
Because it's usually rain.
Yeah.
Well, is it sunny and hot or is it
It's a
muggy?
good it's a good temperature today. Yeah, it's warming up. So we've had actually I've sort of, for the last month we've had some nice weather. So yeah, it's probably waiting for the school holidays to start, and then it all seems to go downhill when the kids are off. So
That
we'll
figures,
see.
right? When you want them to go
Yeah,
outside and be occupied, right? It's like they're stuck inside
yeah,
with all the
yeah,
lockdowns and everything, but that's another talk
yeah.
show.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
Elsa, I want to dive in and get a little background about your writing first. So, can you tell us a little bit about your journey as an author?
Okay. Well, I think I always loved reading, always had my nose in a book. And at school, I was the only one that was ever delighted when we got to writing homework. I'd be straight on it, probably writing too much. um, and then, but then sort of work life starts, and then I had children. So you sort of things fall by the wayside. Um, and my children, when they were starting school, they were very insecure. Just having that many children around them, that a whole different environment. Um, and so I thought we used to go to the beach, or we still do, but we'd go to the beach and they'd ask me for a story while their dad was off getting ice cream. So I'd sort of make one up on the spot. Um, and so I had the idea of just I said, well, if you can manage to go to school today, I'll have a chapter written for you when I get back. When you get back, and I'll read it to you at bedtime. And it seemed to work. So they would go to school nicely because and of course, I included their toys in the story and their school. So I didn't initially write it with any plan. It was all on paper and then typed up. I asked my mum if she would do a few illustrations just to go with it, as they were enjoying it so much. So nothing was planned for the first book. It was just discovery writing. But then sort of finished that one and they said, could they have another story? And so it's sort of just gone on from there. They sort of wanted mermaids in it. And then they wanted their horses in it. I haven't got the fourth one in print behind me, but yeah, so it's got all the family pets in it. But and I've just I enjoyed it so much, and learning the technology. Yeah, it kept my brain active as well when they were tiny.
Wow, so they're girls, your two girls,
Yes, twins.
and
So
so
they are
ah,
Sophie and Philippa.
wow, that really brings it home. So patterned after your own daughters. Oh, that's amazing. So you started out with the inspiration of just writing a book for your girls and then behaving this.
Yeah, it was really just telling them a story off the top of my head when we were sitting on a beach in Eastbourne, which is so Eastbourne's the actual location for the
Mhm.
mermaid stories. They're all sort of real locations and sort of things we'd do with the roller skating along the seafront. So we've just sort of fed things in that way. So yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. So how did they respond to you reading them a story about themselves and being mermaids? I mean, you must have got a lot of their personality went into Sophia and Felicity, the twins, right?
Yes, at the time Sophie was more the quiet one, Felicity was more the outgoing. That seems to have switched. But yeah, very much. And their friends were in it. I've changed the name of the teacher, but
Mhm.
so their favourite teacher was sort of features in there. And yeah, they, in fact, the only thing that backfired was that I shouldn't have read it at bedtime because they woke up. They're like, oh, I want another chapter and I haven't written it yet.
They got all excited, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, well, that would be good motivation for you to continue writing because, if they're, keeping you accountable, like when's the next chapter? When's the next book coming out, right? So that is so
Yeah.
cool. And I see on the shelf behind you, you have your books. Can you share with us the magic books?
Yes, sure.
Is
There's
the sun still coming
four.
through?
I'll check that. Yeah, it's blocking out the good British sunshine. Yes, and I've got 3 in print. 4th one, I'm having some technical sizing issues with the printer, but we're working on it. Yeah, so this one is the first one that's sort of got their puppies in there. That's their beanie toys that they've had since teeny tiny.
Oh.
So and they still have them on their beds.
Oh, how old are the twins now?
Well, they're 17 this July.
So the high school, right?
Yes.
Definitely changed.
Yes, yeah, they have. So they've been a long time in the making because, of course, with family life and everything.
Sure.
And I was originally just going to get them put into print for the children, and then family and friends enjoyed them, and so I printed a few more. And then I thought, well, if it's going this way, I probably need to get them properly edited, and then it sort of just carried on from there.
Yeah, it's a process.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry I interrupted. You have the first book is Saving the Fairies and Serena? Fairies of Serena?
Yes, Saving the Fairies of Serena. So if I can I can't. It's like looking in a mirror, isn't it?
Yes.
Is it the right way?
It's the right way.
This one is the first in the series where they find the magic book in their school. So I was trying to make them see school in a more positive light, that there might be sort of exciting discoveries in there and things not appearing as they maybe seem to. And they find a magic book. Well, they lose their toys. And on looking for the toys, they find a plain leather notebook. And one of them needs a toilet. The other one's child ends up drawing, because there's a pen in the spine of the book, it sort of doodles in the book of a fairy, and before she thinks about what she's doing, writing in a notebook that isn't hers. And that's how it starts, that doodle fairy becomes the one that you see on the front. So maybe that's probably why she doesn't look so much like your sort of Disney fairy. And in fact, Sophie did draw that. So at the time, so they was really good at drawing. But yes, and they've discovered that the magic book they can communicate with. They write a question in for it, and it will answer in rhyme. And also the images that they draw in the book can come to life.
Wow. And so did your strategy work?
It did, yes. Yeah, they really loved it. So
hey, maybe I'll try that with my students here. Yeah. I'll put them in a book. This is how you should behave and do your homework, right?
Yeah.
I might have to borrow that. So tell us about book number 2.
But book number 2, they asked if they could have mermaids in it. So here's and in fact it was only meant to be one story, but they wanted it longer. But I felt I wanted to sort of keep the books the same length. So this one is a story on its own, but it's properly concluded in this one. So this has its own sort of plot, but they sort of well, I won't give the spoiler away, but it's sort of carried on in this one.
Don't give it away, because I've read book 1 and 2, but I haven't read 3 yet, so don't give it away.
Okay, so they on a family beach trip, and they're just relaxing on the beach, and after having gone skating, and Felicity thinks she sees something in the sea. she's was very impulsive. She's calmed down a bit now, thank goodness. And I could just imagine how she would react. So she'd ran into the sea. Sophie ran after her, and in fact, actually, in Eastbourne, it shelves away quite quickly in the water. So that part is also true. She loses her footing and is saved by mermaids, but she doesn't realise where she is initially, because she's sort of not unconscious, but she has no recollection of how she ends up there. So I found that quite fun to write, discovering,
Well, I loved how you detailed how her legs became the tail, and how do you move this thing, and all the elements underwater. It just was so fascinating for me, because the things you thought about to write and include in this underwater world was, I could never have imagined it all. So you have a fabulous imagination.
Thank you. No, and I really loved it. So when I write, I'm sort of really there. But I can, unless there's loads of distractions, I can sort of slip into that sort of zone quite easily. But I thoroughly enjoyed writing it and imagining what would happen.
And then the prince, the lovely, handsome prince that guides them through to the summer ball. Was it the summer ball?
Yes.
And dogfish.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes. That's what, I don't know if you can see, but in his hands there, he's got that's the dogfish. So there are many sort of animals that so there's catfish, dogfish, seahorses I had fun with, because of course they have fins rather than legs, and I really like that idea. Because it's a whole lot nicer when you fall off.
Right.
Yeah.
I love it. I want to go live there.
Yeah.
So fabulous, so fabulous. I have to read the next book to see how it goes. Yeah, I'm with your daughters at that age, like, what happens next?
Good, thank you. Yeah, that is
and then so now we have the book 4, you said is being printed. That's the mystery of the missing book, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So they wanted unicorns, or they at the time called them unipegs. I do think they actually have wings and the horn, and I think I forget for a minute, they actually do have a name, but the girls wanted to call them unipegs, so that's what goes in the book.
Why not? It's a fiction book.
Yeah. And Smokey and Redster are my ponies that you meet. So Smokey features on the front cover, very glamorous. He's now 29, so he doesn't look quite as athletic.
Right. Yeah, his beautiful horse. Yeah. White.
He is lovely.
That looks like an angel unicorn, I think. It's just gorgeous.
Your
mother illustrated all these pictures?
Yes, there's sort of over 40 in each book. So I did say to her, sketch drawings. A lot of the books will have sketch images in, but she admitted to getting a bit carried away in the first book, and they're all colour.
So how was that working with your mom as a team? You writing and her illustrating? It
was lovely, actually, because it gave us both a focus. Because at the point she was at, sort of life was quietening down. I still needed to have babysitting and things, but but she used to make doll's house miniatures for adults, so for the collectors.
Really?
Yeah, but her eyesight wasn't good enough. So in actual fact, she rediscovered her original love of drawing and painting, creating the illustrations for the book. So she was more than happy to carry on. She had a bit of a learning curve. She had to buy herself a tablet and learn, because before she was sort of
learning.
So we've all been on a learning curve, but yeah, it was lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like you. I think I was the first university student in my undergrad to turn in a handwritten 6-page essay, and it was just as computers. That's how old I am. It was just as computers first started coming out. He's like,
yeah.
And why are you giving me all this paper that's all handwritten? It's like, because that's what we do.
Yeah.
No. Why did I write her? You type this up. It's like learning curves are never ending, right? But it's good.
Yes, definitely. Well, because I wrote all the, as I said, that I wrote all the stories on paper by hand. Because I had about 3 years out when they were tiny, they just didn't sleep, so I didn't properly function. So I arrived sort of, I think it was the first 4 years they didn't sleep well. So 4 years out of the technology advancements, I woke up and went, everything's changed. So I used to be a PA, so I couldn't use computers, but yeah, so a huge learning curve, but I loved it, and so did Mum. Learning to draw on a tablet and paint with the tablet.
And I think a lot of people that are watching this interview and are authors or aspiring authors would love to know, with two twins for 4 years that were not sleeping, how or where did you find time and the energy with no sleep to write such fabulous books? I mean, that's a miracle.
Well, it was also, they started to sleep more when they went full time. And I guess it was the short times that they were at school that I was able to sort of starting school rather than at preschool. I wasn't writing then.
Right. Yeah.
I was sleeping if I had any free time.
I'm taking a nap.
Yeah.
Right.
Just don't look at the housework.
No.
No.
Sadly, dishes don't do themselves.
No. So yeah, it took a long time, and as you can tell, yeah.
Oh.
So it was a long, getting the first book from a very scruffy first draft to a print version was a few years, and of course, as you say, the learning curve of the new technology and getting them ready for ebook and everything. Yes.
Yes.
But I did log it. I didn't think so, but yeah.
God bless you. I go through Fiverr now, so I'm like delegating out. Freelancers is my answer, right? Cover maker, editor, da da da. I mean, I edit my stuff, but at some point, I just get tired of reading it over and over again, and
when you don't see it, you don't see anymore anyway, do you? After a while,
No.
your eye just skips over the mistakes. So yeah, you need a good editor.
And you truly need to have a professional set of eyes on it, because there are those people who come, and God, I love our reviewers. I mean, please, you guys read the books and leave reviews for Elsa. They're amazing. But there's that one that thinks that it's a grammar essay and they want to catch all your little punctuation errors or your spelling errors or your little human margin of error, right? And then that's what their whole, oh, by the way, the book was really good, but then they didn't spell this right and they missed that. It's like, seriously? So for my
there's
first book,
probably a couple. Sorry.
I was
going to say there might be a couple in there, but they always seem to slip past. No matter how careful everyone is, but hopefully not too many.
It's silly because all these like books here on the shelf, even like the Magic Treehouse series that my elementary school students read, all find spelling errors and grammars in there, but that's not part of the story. It's like,
no.
Humans too. My students find it, teacher, isn't this spelled wrong? It's like, good job, you found it, yay! It's like, I do it all the time.
Yeah.
So who else is behind the scenes? You have your mom doing the illustrations. Who else is helping bring the books together?
Well, my editor is a good friend, Coralie Medcalf. We met her through my husband's skating club. So at that time, as a few years ago, we had a small group of adults that would skate, so we didn't have to worry about squashing little people. And yes, she's helped me as well. She's been brilliant. So there's Coralie, my husband, who's funding it, I guess.
Hey, husband.
Yes, in a big way. Yeah. So and just general family support. So it has been and my brother, Glenn Alford, I can't forget him, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to put a website together. He's sort of a self-taught tech guy, and yes, so but just trying to get hold of him because he's so popular with his friends for a number of his talents. So and he's actually, it'll be a long time in the coming, but he's making a computer game for the series as well, and I saw a bit at the weekend. It looks amazing, but
Amazing.
You might have a little wait before we can put that out there, but that's in the pipeline.
No, I mean, anybody who can design the storyline, the storyboard for a game, yeah, and put all that technology and coding together, it's just got my vote. Like I said, I'm still handwriting stuff.
Yeah.
On the back of like chicken wrappers or something, I'm handwriting. So, even though no one can read my writing but me.
No.
So with that, knowing that he helped you create your fabulous websites, how can people find your book other than, we know they're on Amazon, amazon.com, and also amazon.uk, right?
Yes.
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 I'm going to put all of Elsa's information in our contact box below. But there's also something else special you have going on right now with the books. You have a promotion. Tell us about that.
I do. It's a promotion with King Sumo, which you may be familiar with. And I've grouped together with some other great author friends, and we're offering a Kindle Paperwhite as the main prize.
Fantastic.
But every entrant has a selection of our books to choose from for free. So you don't need to buy any. It's just as a thank you for entering the competition. So yeah.
Fantastic. How many days left on that promotion?
It ends on the 29th, so is that about 7 days, I think?
7 more days?
Yeah, next Wednesday, so yes.
So I'll include the link in the description box below so people can go enter in a Paperwhite and books, so you get free books just for entering. I mean, you can't beat that, right? It's like, I rarely win anything, so it's like...
No. You will need to tick the little box on the King Sumo thing. It says to receive emails from me. It's just to try and stop those pesky bots from coming through. And if they could click, it's a double opt-in again, because we don't want to spam people, just to make sure you know that you're signing up to hear from me. We'll get emails from me, so there'll be a double confirmation. So check your inboxes for that, and then I'll be able to send you all the links for the free books.
Fantastic. And I think I remember in the book that I was reading, the last book, you have a book club. Do you have like a book club that was going for your books?
Well, not so much for mine. It was a book club it was during lockdown, actually, with just a couple of mums. So it wasn't public, as you like. It was just a group of pony mad kids with equally pony mad parents, and we read books or others, and then just get together to chat about them. And the children had far better questions about the book than I ever thought of, though. They're brilliant. So yes, I don't know, actually. I mean, I really enjoy the book clubs, but I haven't thought about taking it wider. So
I was going to say, if you
know if they would be interested.
Yeah, that would be another side job for you, if you've got a reading club together, for your books, and then be able to interact with people who are reading your books. I know that some of the authors that I've read, they only intended, like Junie B. Jones, the author from Junie B. Jones series, she only intended to write like 3 or 4 books, and that was it. Nope, I'm sorry, it was Magic Treehouse. And yet the kids who are reading the books wrote in and said, well, why don't you put Jack and Annie on this adventure? And she's like, okay. Let's put Jack and Annie on this adventure. Okay. So if you had a reading club, maybe they would want Sophia and Felicity to go on another adventure too, right?
Yes. That'd be great. Yes, definitely. Yeah, that would be great, because of course I was led, originally writing them. That's what the girls were doing for me. But yes, anyone, that'd be great. I've also mentioned I do have a newsletter, which you might have. So if people join, and it's only once a month.
Yeah. That might have been what I was thinking.
And I'll always put like a downloadable in there. Yeah. So every month I'll send something. So it'll be a downloadable, something to colour. There'll be a competition. Sometimes it will be recommending a book. So it's usually just a short paragraph of sort of personal updates, and then my writing update and a freebie. But I would like to, for the first but I'm just having a look now to see if it's in this print edition. Oh, I think it's got, I did, yeah. So for the print edition, I had Felicity do a drawing to go in it. So I'm
Oh,
trying to work out which way.
Yeah, I love it.
But, and I would like to have pictures from children, from the readers. So I could put that in a newsletter, and anyone that wants to send in images, then we can put them in the front of the next book. Would be lovely too.
That would be fun, and to have little questions for them, how would they see Sophia and Felicity in this world or doing these things, or what would they do if they were invited to this special underwater world, right? I mean, that would be, I mean, I'm a kid. I would love to go answer those questions.
Yes.
I'll sign up for your newsletter. I think I already did, actually. So what's the new print today? Is there a book number 5 in the works, or are you going to continue with this series, or are you going to want to write a whole new genre?
Well, both.
Okay.
I have got the 5th in the series. I have got the 5th in rough draft, very rough draft, so it's going to take a lot of work because there was a lot of stop starting in writing that one. So it's a bit of a nightmare trying to get it all to work. And I don't know if you're the same, but when you read it, you think, oh, sometimes you look at it and go, this is no good. So you just have to put it away for a minute.
On the shelf, take it off, put it off, and yes.
Come back to it.
I have a few of those. Right,
Yes.
absolutely. So,
and also, well, so I'm doing a middle grade book as well. As I was writing it or planning it, I had the ideas grew. So it's probably going to be a trilogy. So it is more middle grade. The first book is more or less ready, but since now I want to make it a trilogy, I need to make sure I've got all subplots that lead on nicely. So I'm busy plotting this one out properly, because of course the word count is a lot longer.
Do you ever get stuck, just like going along and then just like, I gotta put this away because I don't know what happens next? Right? It's like I get stuck sometimes. Do you have writer's block?
Sometimes if I'm not in the right mood, but I try and sit down and write anything, and then that usually unsticks me. It might be that you scrap that, but and with the great thing with computers is that you can just save a copy, and then so because it's really hard to just bin any of your writing. So everything
and make sure that you put everything on a flash drive.
Yeah.
So we have about 10 more minutes left before my Zoom decides it wants me to upgrade and zoom off. See how it is? So can you tell us, Elsa, really quickly, any advice for young aspiring writers out there?
I visited a school, and I was going to do a creative, they were having a creative week. And a lot of them, I saw a lot of stricken faces when I sort of said what I would like them to try. And I said, well, everyone has imagination. So I all gave them props. So maybe even if you don't think you've got the ability to write, and they came up with some amazing ideas. Even if it's the ball, what other thing could that ball be? It might have a face on it. I mean, it's been done in books before, but every object you look at could be something not as it seems, or magic. So like the magic book wasn't just a plain old leather notebook. So try and look at things differently, and just have a go at writing once you start. That's the hardest thing, but just have a go at writing.
Just start, right? That's the whole thing. Just start. Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, Elsa, it has been so fun learning about you and your amazing books, and now knowing that Sophia and Felicity are in high school and the adventure continues in a new trilogy. Oh, this is just fantastic. You're going to send me all your information so I can include it in the box below. And everybody go and buy her books and read them. They're fantastic. And don't forget to enter the King Sumo giveaway that's going on because you only have 7
Yeah, it
days.
is on my website. It's on my website under competitions as well. So yeah, you can find the link
Excellent.
there.
Excellent. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Elsa. Good luck with
Thank you for
everything.
having me. Thank you.
Take care. Be well.
Thank
Bye for
you.
now.
Bye.
Bye.